Hey yo, what's a GURP with my people, the Chico Army, who never miss an episode. And if you're new and you're thinking about doing that and joining the crew, kindly subscribe. The first step of ranking up from the viewer of the tube. The second step, dosing our content, just like this. How about we let the Tyler content flow, cause it's time for Chico Crypto. Well, who would have thought BTC would be volatile leading up to this day? Pulling out the 1 week chart, the price has been bouncing around furiously in the 13K to 14K range. And this volatility isn't going to go anywhere anytime soon. The rest of November and into December will be very similar in my personal opinion. Why do you ask? It's called unknown territory for the price. Above 13K, we have spent a total of 51 days now above it, with 8 of those days coming in the past 8 days, and the rest, 43 days, happening back in late 2017, early 2018. How about above 14K? Only 32 days, all coming back in the last parabolic run. Above 15K, just 23 days back then too, and the days get shorter and shorter with each 1K move up to 20K. Now, I just want to pull out the charts from the last run, 2017 to today, and the 2014 run over a similar time period. Now, the 10K level, I like to compare to the $500 level back then. As you can see with both charts, this level was broken for both July 2016, 500, and July 2020, 10K. Back during 2016, the price then tested the $700 to $800 range before coming back down and testing 500 once again. This dollar level I like to compare to the 13K to 14K range we are testing today, which back in July of 2020 we tested it and then came back down to test 10K, just like before. Then, after the summer of 2016 into October and November, it was extremely volatile for BTC, but an overall bullish push up. And it wasn't until December that the price officially broke 800, and that was extremely unknown territory back then. And once again, the more things change, the more they stay the same. BTC is in unknown price territory, between 13K to 14K. There could be some violent movements coming per election outcome. 2016 also had an election, and the outcome was decided on November 2nd. Zooming in back then, we can see the price had pushed up into the $700 to $800 range, about the middle, and then on the day of the election, November 2nd, it had a big old dipster, back down out of the range. So we're not out of the clear if things are like the past. Today should be volatile, and since this is going to be a special election, unlike the one in the past, this entire week may be especially volatile. But Bitcoin is bigger than elections. It's an asset that has no direct correlation to anything in the typical economic environment. Stocks, bonds, currency, gold, commodities, or property. Thus, it has no correlation to governments and no correlation to a political party or political outcome anywhere in the world. And this was also true back in 2016. After the November 2nd dump, BTC shook it off and, like we showed, finally broke 800 in December. And that November dump looks like a little blip because by January we were back to testing the 2014 peak of 1200. So 20K coming in early 2021? Well, BTC is going to need some help to get it to that level, just like it did back in the day. What helped Bitcoin get a hype cycle moving in 2016? Well, it's a little thing called the ICO, Initial Coin Offering. Checking out Google search terms throughout 2016, interest was about the same. But then there was an abnormal spike in December of 2016 before coming back down. Today we have a thing called decentralized finance, DeFi, and looking at it, interest was pretty much the same for the beginning of the year. But this summer there was an abnormal spike, and now we are back down. Now, if you expand out the ICO trend chart, you can see that December 2016 spike became just a little blip. Throughout 2017, the ICO hype continued and continued, reaching its peak at the end of 2017. So DeFi, will its hype continue like ICO did? Well, today, right now, it doesn't seem like it, huh? It seems like DeFi has lost all of its steam. The same thing happened back then. So ICOs, they reached their little peak in December of 2016. As we can see, 12 major ICOs launched that month, the most throughout the year. And as we saw, interest died out for the ICOs after this. And this further can be seen by the number of major ICOs launched in Q1 of 2017. Only 7 in 3 months, January, February, and March, while December 2016 saw 12. Q1 2017, people were saying ICOs were already dead, especially after the DAO ICO debacle. But as we know, ICO interest surged, and so did the number, 25 total in Q2, then over 60 major ones by Q3, and finally nearly 120 by Q4 2017. So, DeFi, it's dead. Nah, the hype is only beginning, and we are just in the calm stage, right before the real fun begins in 2021. Now, DeFi is much different than ICOs, and in a much better way. ICOs were usually just ideas that raised funds, launched a token, and then planned on building out that idea. Some did it and they succeeded with their idea. Some completely scammed, and some did their idea but still failed. DeFi, on the other hand, usually has a product built and then they launch a token. Uniswap is a great example of that, and the best DeFi products will likely follow that same model. So what could be another Uniswap coming in 2021 that already has a successful product built? That's DYDX, the Decentralized Derivatives Exchange, built with smart contracts. Thus, you can trade margin and even perpetuals, and it can't be shut down. And with the regulatory crackdowns on their centralized competitors, BitMEX ring a bell? This one seems to be falling right in place. So DYDX, it's DeFi infrastructure that doesn't have a token. It's been live and running, using borrowing and lending pools to power its exchange. Pools like Uniswap has LP pools? Yeah, you can interact with DYDX by not even trading. You can lend the traders liquidity to margin trade with through their pools. Similarities to Uniswap, huh? Well, now I just want to play this clip from DYDX founder Antonio Giuliano on the Crypto Testers podcast. They asked about a DYDX token. Let's listen in.
Let's talk about kind of a little bit of a speculation, but I saw recently Ryan Adams from Bankless. He speculated that DYDX would maybe launch a token one day. This was shortly after Uniswap distributed their Uni token retroactively to anyone who had ever interacted with the Uniswap exchange. And so he said, well, it pays off to be early and to use something. I recommend you guys use DYDX because it's one of the coolest projects out there that still doesn't have a token. It's also funny to observe how, like a year ago, it was kind of a virtue to not have a token, and now everyone wants any project to have a token. But do you have a comment on this? Like, is this something that's in the pipeline?
Yeah, it's a great question. Certainly, we're paying attention to everything that's going on in the DeFi space. I'd say tokens we've seen be really valuable, both in terms of just spurring a lot of growth for platforms. Well, of course, we want to grow too. So that would be super positive for us. Another thing that I think is really impactful about tokens is just how much more power and say they give to the community over the direction of the project, which I think is a really positive thing as well, and I think would really benefit DYDX. And then just in terms of fully decentralizing the protocol and kind of moving from more just admin keys to totally like fully decentralized governance of the protocol, I think is a really valuable thing at the end of the day as well. So, no direct answer at this point, but I'd say we're pretty seriously thinking about it from just a lot of different angles. We definitely see a lot of benefits to it. But first and foremost, our main priority has always been and will always be just making the best and most functional product, and not necessarily just trying to hype it up with like tokens or things like that. But I think we've been able to do a really solid job of just building a great product at this point, and we continue to just push a lot forwards. I think DYDX gets better every day. And we do see a token as potentially being additive to the platform overall.
So Antonio, he basically leaked that yes, DYDX is coming with a token. He said they are seriously considering it. So if they do, I wouldn't doubt it would be similar to how Uniswap did theirs. They will be distributed to early supporters and those who interact with their protocol. And I'll let you know I'm interacting because I wouldn't doubt their token launches sometime in Q1 of 2021, right when the hype really starts moving. But that is future gratification if it pans out. I'm sure some of you want instant gratification, a token that is trading right now. Well, this DeFi semi-pick fits right in with my view of decentralizing the large margin, perpetual, and options exchanges, which I think is going to seriously ramp up in 2021. This one is a decentralized options trading exchange, and it's called Hegic. So what is Hegic? Well, it's an AMM, automated market maker for trading options, and you can do it right now for both Wrapped Bitcoin and Ethereum, and the interface is friendly like Uniswap. And Hegic, the beta, just launched in the middle of October, and the protocol already has 20 million locked up. Pretty damn outstanding, while DeFi isn't in a hype cycle. And Hegic tokens, like I said, they are launched, and they can be earned by using the protocol, liquidity mining, and liquidity utilization, actually putting in an option trade. And all the settlement fees paid in ETH or Wrapped Bitcoin are distributed to the token holders. Although the founder of Hegic is anonymous, dun dun dun. And actually Hegic was supposed to launch earlier this year. What happened? Well, there were bugs found in the contract, and the Defiant interviewed the Anon dev, Molly Wintermute. She was the one who found the bug, and she personally refunded over $47K to the people affected. This all went down in May, and after it, Hegic has done the multiple security audits needed, one from Brahma Systems and the top-notch security firm Peck Shield. Plus, people like Larry Cermak are tweeting about it today, which gives it validity. But like I always say, be wary of anonymous in the crypto space. Rug pulls can happen, and they can happen quick. If Hegic interests you, DYOR and never put in more than you can afford to lose. That should be your crypto motto. Cheers, I'll see you next time.